Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to the program. Today, we're going to talk about bringing augmented reality to artists. Finally, there's a way to do it in such an easy and quick way. And today, we're going to talk about that with Leah Mladenova. She is the community manager at Artivive, a company and an app that you really want to hear about. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be a great chat.
Resources, inspiring interviews, business practices, and practical advice to take your art career to the next level. Join Sergio Gomez in today's Artist Next Level and get ready to take control of your career.
Well, hi, Leah. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, I'm very good. How are you, Sergio?
Well, thank you for being with us here. You are community manager at Artivive, a company that I've been learning about quite a bit recently, and something that I'm very excited to talk about here with our friends, because augmented reality is something that has been around for a while. It's not new, but you guys have made it more available to artists, particularly, and giving us this opportunity to use this tool in the way we create our art, in the way we present our art, in the way people interact with our art more than anything. So we're going to talk about exactly what you guys do, how it works, but kind of as a quick intro. I remember it was maybe maybe 5 years ago or so, I really had an opportunity to see an exhibition here in Chicago where, you use augmented reality. And for our friends who do not know what that means, it's like when you use your mobile device to point at a work of art, and then something happens on the screen. It could be, for example, that you point to the art and there's an animation, or you can see the artist talking about it, or something moves, or something appears or disappears, or you can chase things around. So, it really gives the work of art, a different life, a different way of, looking at it through the lens of your mobile device. And that's what augmented reality is all about. And if you have never experienced it, my friend, after you watch this episode, you will. So
yes,
Leah,
we hope so.
Yeah, Leah, I'm happy to chat with you because that's something I have been looking forward of, somehow, some way using it in my art, in my own work. But it was always very expensive, to hire somebody to create the AR environment, and then to create the app, the reader. So I never could afford it or do it, and until you guys came along. So tell me a little bit about what is Artivive.
So Artivive, as you mentioned, is this super user-friendly, easy solution to create augmented reality art. The company was founded in 2017 in Vienna, in Austria. And since then, we've grown a lot. Like, we are having a very large community over the world, like more than 110,000 artists are using the platform. Yeah, it's a very, very big family, and a lot of people are creating. And what is exactly the goal of the company is that to make augmented reality more accessible to not only artists, but also to users and to normal audiences in museums and art events. And for me, for example, I'm not an artist myself. As you mentioned, I'm more in the marketing community side, but I also of course, use the platform, use Artivive, and just the way you can use it, it's so easy, everything happens so quickly. That's something that our founders, they really wanted to achieve, because I see that many augmented reality artists and digital artists, they sometimes struggle with do I need so many knowledge? Do I need to code or use a programmer, developer to create these effects? And actually, this is the goal of Artivive, to make it very easy to use so that people can enjoy it and artists can create and expand their horizon with it.
That's exciting. That's very cool. The first time I actually saw your app in action was last year through a friend from Mexico City who created a whole exhibition, using augmented reality, and it was pretty cool. And then this year, a friend of mine who now is working with you guys as well, too, Dalila, so she told me about her transition to working with you guys, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, that's that is really exciting. But I had never really tried it or tested it until she kind of told me about it. So I downloaded the app and I tested it, and it works really great. And kind of like to tell our friends how this works. I'm also, as we are chatting, I'm showing visuals here so our friends can see it. Now, if you're listening to this through the podcast, what you want to do is also maybe go check out this episode in YouTube so you can see it as well. How, as we're talking about it, how you can see some examples, right? Augmented reality is one of those things that you have to experience it. It's hard to explain because it's a moving image. And as things move, well, all things can happen. But the way you guys build the app, which is what I love, is so there's two parts to it. There's the reader, which is what the app that comes in your mobile device, that when you point at the artwork, you are able to see what the artist created, right, as the augmented reality part of the image. And then there's the online platform where you, once you create your account, you can upload an image, which will be the image that the app will read as the kind of like a QR code type of thing, but it's the actual photo of your artwork. And then you upload the different elements that could be the augmented reality, which could be video and could be images, and could be a stack of images, which I love. Like one of the ones that I'm showing right now is one of my recent paintings where when you look at it, you'll see the different layers and then even some hidden images that you don't see unless you use the app. And in the exhibition that I have up right now also, which I have a solo show right now, a lot of the pieces use augmented reality where you point, which you'll see some here in the sample. When you point at it, things happen. In some of them, you will see me doing the progress of the artwork, like the time lapse of how it started, how it ended. In others, you will see other things happening through the work. And I find that to be a very user-friendly, application. Tell me about, some of the details about how that works, because you have the video section and then I don't know how you call that, the 3D layering.
The app,
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
So basically, it's like sometimes when I tell people like augmented reality, it sounds a bit scary, like how does it work? But it's actually very simple. There are actually, I want to just mention this, there are two types of augmented reality. So there is the location based, which is usually uses geolocation and GPS, and there is the marker based, which uses an object as a trigger. So Artivive is a marker based, and what you need is actually to have, as you mentioned, the app, and then you scan, so to say, like a QR code, you scan an image, which is uploaded in our database, and then this image comes to life. And this database is basically called Bridge. And Bridge is our content management tool where artists usually go, they upload their images, they connect those images with different types of files like other images, videos. Soon we will also have 3D objects, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
So basically in this like Bridge tool, you can either create it very simple, like just to add a trigger image and then a video, and then you scan the trigger image and it comes to life like with this video. Or there is the bit more like pro version, we call it, which is there you can create this 3D effect where you're adding different layers and you're creating this depth into the artwork. And sometimes like people are also, like it's a pro version, is it like also like easy to use? It's very easy to use because you just move the layers like front and back, like up and down, and it's very user friendly. We are also offering a lot of tutorials on YouTube. So the whole goal is to create a tool which doesn't take a lot of time for you to develop this augmented reality thing. And it just like makes it very quickly, and it's simple, and it doesn't require, as I mentioned, this expansive knowledge about coding and stuff like this.
Right. No, yeah, that's what I love that, because I purposely went in without using any tutorials and say, okay, I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. And then I went in, I spent an hour, just playing around, and within an hour I knew how to create things, and I got my first augmented reality piece, which then I went and I shared it on my Instagram, and a lot of people were asking, how did you do that? How did you do that? So
it was awesome. I saw it.
You said that. So there's a lot of curiosity in this video. I told everybody, just wait, because you'll learn on an episode that's coming up. So this interview is giving that answer to everybody who was asking, Sergio, how did you do that? And besides the fun element, which of course is really fun to have that and create as a creator to create something that people will see through their device, but also I find it to be it has many uses besides being something fun. It has many uses. I think it has that you can add an educational component. For example, when you have an exhibition like the one I have right now up at here at South Suburban College, which is a solo show. It's called Inception. And, to me, the ability that I can give the students when they go and look at this exhibition, or the viewer, whoever walks in, to be able to get this other content that becomes educational, in the way the artwork was made, or the references that I put in, or anything that I want to add to it, right? It just adds another level, I think, of meaning, and another layer that the viewer can get to from looking at the artwork. And it's not like you need the AR to to get something from the work, but it's like you just add more. You just add that other layer, which I find it to be interesting.
Yeah, it's like actually Artivive started a lot around the idea of like how to make also museums a bit more modern, and we are all like using audio guys in museums, but sometimes when they're explaining about a certain artwork, you cannot visualize things that's like because you really need to see how there are some artworks which they were like older versions and they were reproduced. We have this great example with one of the artworks of Egon Schiele. He's a very famous Austrian artist, and one of his artworks was actually this. Like there was an original which was changed for the museum, which like wanted to exhibit the artwork. And when you listen to this, okay, you understand it, but without seeing it visually, you can actually not really fully embrace the story. And that's what I really find very useful with augmented reality, that you can exactly educate the audience, like make art and history of art and like the artistic approaches much more accessible to the mass audience, because there is still I feel this like barrier between art and like most audiences in museums, that people are going but they don't fully understand art because it's not explained in a very clear way. And with augmented reality, like adding this fun element, it can actually make teaching art and learning about art more like just funnier and easier. So I feel that this is one of our goals there, to educate people about art, but to make it in a very like different way and in a very funny way, so that it's also very engaging.
I love that, because everywhere we go, we take this with us.
We have the phones, yeah, exactly. So why don't we use them in a very like helpful way that we can educate ourselves and learn more? Yeah.
Right. Now, another reason I really like Artivive is not only for what you guys have created, but also the community that you have in the app itself. What I love too is that not only you use it to read, but you also to find other creators in the community. So it gives it's like a little mini social platform where you can see kind of other creative things who are from other people using the apps, which is great, because the app allows you to, as you watch, to create a quick video. So you can see others also from the community. So that I find that to be really cool, inspirational. Like, oh wow, that is great, But also tell me about the other resources that you have for artists within your platform, which the exhibitions and things like that.
Yeah. So first, just to mention something, because as you introduced me, my role is community manager, and what I really love also about Artivive is our community, because on daily basis, I'm in contact with so many different artists, and I see the different approaches people have. And, like Artivive is not just something that you use for a certain thing. I see people how they are like using it in so many different ways and creating so many different types of art. And it's just mind blowing for me. Like it's just, I see it like, from stickers to murals to like university projects, everything. And it creates also this like community that people are also helping each other and asking questions and like meeting each other through the the app and through the platform, which I feel that is very inspiring. This is something that we really like put emphasis on because we love our community. Like this is the thing that drives us and that makes us do what we do. Um, so yeah, just like if you also want to learn more about the community, we have also a page on Facebook where like group where you can join and interact with other artists. But also like we are trying to build not only community with artists, but also like with brands and curators and museums, universities. And one of the ways we are doing this is, for example, with open calls, which I know that, for example, you are also like very into open calls. So we basically are trying to create many open calls and opportunity for artists to just be part of different projects all around the world. So we had open calls with Goethe Institute, we had open calls with United Nations, so we had open call with now with NFT Auction House, so in Austria. So there are a lot of different things we are offering when we just want to give the chance to our community, the artists who are using Artivive, to be more exposed to, show their artworks in different parts of the world, but also to meet new companies, meet new people, so that they can build this big network and that we can all like invest and like just grow this augmented reality field. And I feel that it's very empowering and it's something we really love doing.
Yeah, and I think it's something that it's going to become more and more user friendly. I believe it's a technology that before it was hard to access. Now it becomes easier. It's like, I don't know if you remember back in the day when the QR codes came around, that you had to
nobody understood them.
Nobody. What is that for? Now it's like you just point at it. You don't even need an app anymore. You just point at it and boom, it reads it. So I think all these technologies will come around more and more easily. People will understand them better, and I think will be great. So I think for artists, as you look at it in that way, how you can bring that into your art in special ways, perhaps when you have an exhibition, certain pieces that you may want to have there, or projects or things that you may be doing, public engagement projects, that's perfect to do that as well. So the possibilities are endless. So I'm sure some of our friends are asking, okay, so how do I join? What's the process? And the way you have it structured, Artivive, so you can try it for free, right? And then you have certain brackets which are by view. So can you explain a little bit of how is that working?
Sure. So basically, you can register for free, and every free account, they have unlimited number of projects. So you can create as much as you want, because this way we had a not account structure, but we've discovered that it's limiting a bit our community. So we decided to change it a bit and to create this like unlimited artwork design, so that you can create as much as you want. And the only restriction is the views limit. So basically the views are the scans through the app. And what we have basically is like with the free version, like the basic account, you have 100 views per month. But then we have a couple of upgrades, and you have like 1,000, 4,000, and 20,000. So even though it sounds like a lot or like not that much, it's basically, I think it depends on every artist and what are their goals of using like Artivive. And there are a lot of like the first plan starts at $10, which I think is great, because even with $10, you can get 1,000 views and you can experiment a lot. You can have exhibitions, you can have public projects.
That's per month,
so
right?
Basically,
monthly fee.
Monthly. Okay. Yeah. We also offer, like, if you subscribe, there are also some possibility of adding one-time payment views. So basically, per month, you can add additional views on top of your monthly views, which is also great. For example, if you're planning an exhibition for 2 months, but you don't want to have the second plan with 4,000 views, you can just add 1,000 more views. So basically, there is a lot of flexibility. Of course, like we tell people, if there is anything, like there is something it's a very specific project, some projects, they will be very like viewable. There will be a lot of scans. We have also custom accounts. So basically, we try to support the artists, we try to support the community. So whenever people have questions, they can reach out to us, and we are more than happy to help in any way we can.
Awesome. Well, that's wonderful, and we're gonna put here in a link of Artivive, which is artivive.com,
Yes.
right? Super easy.
Yes, exactly.
Artivive.com, and if you want to see a bunch of samples of how artists are using it, go to Instagram, follow them on Instagram, which is Artivive.
Artivive app.
Yeah, so it's Artivive. So again, super easy to find them, and you can see how other creators are using it. Now, something that I didn't mention, which I really like too, is that you can also use, once you scan the image and the image is already in the database, you don't have to necessarily have the original artwork on the wall to see it. In other words, it actually even works with a print or on your computer. In other words, you can pull the image on the screen and somebody can experience the AR. Or if you sell prints, for example, and if you have an image that's already scanned, the print can also be experienced as an AR. So it's not only attached to the original, but anytime that image is displayed in some way or fashion, which is really beautiful.
Yeah. This image is actually like, it serves as we call it a fingerprint. Every fingerprint is very unique and it has its like recognizable points. So basically, when you upload the image, our system catches these details, which are the points that are very recognizable. And then there is no matter what, there is no matter where you put the image. As I mentioned, it can be a mural, it can be a sticker, it will be recognized in the same way because we don't care about the size of the image, we care about the details on the image.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And if you want to see how I used it, besides the samples I have here, if you want to try it out, first download the app Artivive on your mobile device and then go to my website, sergiogomezonline.com. And I'm going to put a link right there on the homepage to my exhibition right now so that you can actually test it in your computer. So you can see what I've done with it, and hopefully that will be inspired to try it out on yourself. So Leah, thank you so much for joining us. Super great.
Thank you for the invitation.
Great chat. I think you've been really awesome of explaining how this whole thing works and making this technology more available to everyone. So give a big hug, that's what I wanted to say, to everyone on Artivive and to my friend Delilah too, and everyone there too, so that you guys continue doing great work. So thank you so much, and we'll see you later. Thank you, my friends, and don't forget to check them out, follow them on Instagram, and try it out. I'm gonna put all the links in the description so you can find them as well.
Check out our website at www.theartistnextlevel.com, where you will find our podcast library, learn about our upcoming webinars, find resources relevant to your career, and much more. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next level.